Hello students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Imran Khatri, Associate Professor, Department of Entomology in the Agriculture University, Tandojam. We are going through the insect order series, part 9. Now today we're gonna have a look on Phasmida. It covers the stick insects and leaf insects. Order Phasmida. Some introduction. The Phasmida, also known as Phasmatodea or Phasmatoptera, are an order of insects whose members are variously known as stick insects, stick bugs, walking sticks, or bug sticks. They are also referred to as Phasmatodians, Phasmids, or ghost insects. Phasmids in the family Phylliidae are called leaf insects, leaf bugs, walking leaves, or bug leaves. The group's name is derived from the ancient Greek word phasma, meaning an apparition or phantom, referring to their resemblance to vegetation. Their natural camouflage makes them difficult for predators to detect. Still, many species have one of several secondary lines of defense in the form of startle displays, spines, or toxic secretions. Phasmatodea, once considered a suborder of Orthoptera, is now treated as an order of its own. As their name suggests, these cryptic insects have the shape and coloring of the leaves and twigs of the plants they inhabit. Phasmids are distinctive insects and are often large to very large, ranging in size from 30 to 300 mm in body length. Stick and leaf insects, when discovered, will often drop to the ground and remain motionless rather than take flight. Some species will also shed legs when attacked, growing them back over time. Now some parts. Now this is head. These are antennae, eyes. Now thorax of both insects. Now this is forewing. Stick insects have the smaller one, as you can see here. I can show you this one here. This is smaller. This is hind wing. Femur. Leaf insects have much larger femur here, you can see here. Now this is foreleg, this is mid leg, and this is hind leg. This is abdomen. The order Phasmida is divided into 2 or sometimes 3 suborders, Agathamerodea and Metamorphosis. The most common division is into the suborder groups Anaerolate and Aerolate, which are distinguished according to whether the insect has sunken areola on tibia. You can see here, or circular area on the underside of the apices of the middle and hind tibia. See here, there's one here, this is space. So whether it is aerolate or not an aerolate. This division is, however, not fully supported by the molecular studies. The other parts here, tarsus, now claw. Species richness, about 3029 species of order Phasmida are described worldwide. The life cycle of the stick insects begins when the female deposits her eggs through one of these methods of oviposition. She will either flick her egg to the ground by the movement of the ovipositor or her entire abdomen. Carefully place the eggs in the exile of the host plant, bury them in small pits in the soil, or stick the eggs to the substrate, usually a stem or leaf of the food plant. Hatching young one starts its life with successive molting and reaching to the adult stage. You can see here, these all three stages are given here. This is egg, nymph of stick insects, and this is adult. This is the egg of leaf insect. This is the nymph, and this is the adult. You can see here. Phasmids can be relatively large. Females of the genus Phobaiticus or the world's longest insects, measuring up to 56.7 centimeters in total length. You can see here this one here. Now another species, Carassius morosus, is very commonly found in Pakistan and adjacent countries. This one is very commonly found here. This insect grows to roughly 10 centimeters and reproduces parthenogenetically, and although males have been recorded, they are very rare. Phasmida can be found all over the world except for Antarctic and Patagonia. They are most numerous in the tropics and subtropics. The greatest diversity is found in Southeast Asia and South America, followed by Australia, Central America, and the southern United States. You can see here bushes. They can be found in caves, and they are also found on trees. Now Phasmida, adult feeding. The mouthparts project out from the head. Chewing mandibles are uniform across species. Phasmids are herbivorous, feeding mostly on leaves of trees and shrubs. Now Phasmida, egg laying. You can see both stick insect and leaf insects. A single female lays from 100 to 1200 eggs after mating, depending on the species. Many species of phasmids are parthenogenetic, meaning the females lay eggs without needing to mate with males to produce offspring. Eggs from virgin mothers are entirely female and hatch into nymphs that are exact copies of their mothers. Stick insect species that are the product of hybridization are usually obligate parthenogens, but non-hybrids are facultative parthenogens, meaning they retain the ability to mate, and their sexual behavior depends on the presence and abundance of male. Now Phasmida hatching. Leaf insects and stick insects. The comparison you can see here. The eggs may hatch in the same season they were laid or remain in the litter to hatch up to 3 seasons later, depending on the conditions. Nymphs molt several times before reaching maturity. and development may take from a few weeks up to a few months. Phasmida metamorphosis. They have a hemimetabolous life cycle with 3 stages: egg, nymph, and adult. Many phasmids are parthenogenetic, as we earlier discussed, and do not require fertilized eggs for female offspring to be produced. In hotter climate, they may breed all year round. They proceed through a series of several nymphal instars. Once emerged, a nymph will eat its cast skin. Adulthood is reached for most species after several months and many molts. The lifespan of Phasmatodea varies by species but ranges from a few months to 3 years. Now, molting. The molting is the shedding of the exoskeleton, which is often called its shell, typically to let them grow. This process is called ecdysis. Ecdysis permits metamorphosis. The sometimes radical differences between the morphology of successive instars and the fact that a new skin can replace structures, such as by providing new external lenses for eyes. The new exoskeleton is initially soft but hardens after the molting of the old skeleton. The old exoskeleton is called an exuvie. Now, the mating process in Phasmida, in stick insects and leaf insects. Male phasmids are generally smaller than females, you can see here, and have more functional wings. It is usually the males that will fly around to locate a mate. Mating behavior in Phasmatodea is impressive because of extraordinary long duration of some pairings. A record among insects, the stick insects, Necrotia species found in India, is sometimes coupled for 79 days at a time. It is not uncommon for this species to assume the mating posture for days or weeks on end, and among some species, Diapheromera species, pairing can last 3 to 136 hours in captivity. Now, camouflage in Phasmida. Why commonly they are referred to as stick and leaf insects? Because they exquisitely camouflaged. Many species look like twigs and may have the appearance of being covered by lichens, mold, bird faces, or moss. The leaf-like forms usually bear a striking resemblance to foliage, exhibiting leaf veins, mildew spots, and even apparent insect feeding damage. Their primary means of avoiding predators is cryptic. If discovered, they either play dead, catalepsy, or they try to scare the predator with a startle display, which can include wing flushing, leg kicking, or spastic motion. Some species also release an irritating tear gas-like spray when disturbed. Now, Phasmida, they have the ability to match with the surrounding environment. You see here, now this species is matched with this leaf. Earlier it was too green. Now this swaying leaf insect is acting like a leaf to escape from the predators, as predator may think that it is a leaf, not an insect. Clever. You can see in this video how people are fascinated by these wonderful insects. Especially kids are fascinated by this group of insects. They are kept as a pet in several countries. Thank you so much for watching this video.